Breaking. It just happened. Major arrest. Massive bail set $86 billion. Even the swamp in Saudi Arabia is being drained. Authorities in Saudi Arabia want at least $6 billion from the jailed Saudi Prince Al-Walid bin Talal to secure his freedom after he was arrested in a nationwide anti-corruption purge which mysteriously started to happen after President Donald Trump visited the Islamic nation. This is actually the highest sum of money ever demanded by authorities in the Gulf state, and it could involve handing over a large part of his fortune and cooperation. Kingdom Holding Company, which is estimated to have a market value of just over $9 billion. The 63-year-old Al-Walid is the 57th richest person in the world according to the Wall Street Journal, with an estimated net worth of $18 billion. This character has profited from the oil-rich nation of Saudi Arabia and has thought political influence here in the U.S. He has donated to various extreme left-wing charities, including the Clinton Foundation, along with funding multiple organizations to spread Islam in the world and mainly in the U.S. Extra News Feed reports. Saudi royalty arrests rock Clinton-Obama regime. The unprecedented sweep of corrupt Saudi elites implicates Clinton, Obama, Wall Street, and beyond. In a shocking development Saturday, the Saudi Arabian government arrested prominent billionaire Walid bin Talal, a member of the royal Saudi family with deep ties to Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. Arrests were carried out by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman recently formed anti-corruption committee and included bin Talal, 10 senior princes, and dozens of ministers for corruption and money laundering charges. Bin Talal, a primary shareholder of Citigroup, News Corporation, and Twitter, was arrested along with dozens of other princes and ministers on Saturday. Bin Talal's arrest was part of a massive sweep of Saudi elites charged with corruption and money laundering by a newly formed anti-corruption committee headed by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Meanwhile, royal princes' private planes have been grounded. Known as the Warren Buffet of the Gulf, Bin Talal, one of the world's richest people, is a notorious figure in American politics with deep ties to both Obama and Clinton. Americans privy to Bin Talal and Saudi Arabia corrupt hand in American politics may recall a 2015 tweet from then-candidate Donald Trump that foreshadowed his arrest. As the story of the massive Saudi royalty purge develops, Americans should anticipate these arrests, and the subsequent investigations will implicate Obama and Clinton in major ways. Investigations into Obama-Clinton impropriety by special counsel Robert Mueller encompass Obama and Clinton financial ties and dubious political alliances with both Saudi Arabia and Russia alike. Those following Trump efforts to police Obama and Clinton extensive criminality are where Mueller probe implicates Clinton crony and lobbying giant Tony Podesta, brother of Clinton campaign manager John Podesta. WikiLeaks releases of John Podesta emails opened a Pandora box of Democratic Party corruption when released last fall, but Tony Podesta's nefarious and long-time lobbying efforts with both Russia and Saudi Arabia are only now beginning to be broadly exposed to the American public. In August 2016, Medea Benjamin sounded the alarm as to the perils of Clinton and the Podesta's crooked Saudi dealings, with emphasis. If I told you that Democratic Party lobbyist Tony Podesta, whose brother John Podesta chairs Hillary Clinton presidential campaign, is a registered foreign agent on the Saudi government payroll, you probably think I was a Trump-thumping, conspiratorial nutcase. But it's true. The lobby firm created by both Tony and John Podesta in 1988 receives $140,000 a month from the Saudi government, a government that beheads nonviolent dissidents, uses torture to extract forced confessions, DOES and allow women to drive, and bombs schools, hospitals and residential neighborhoods in neighboring Yemen. The Podesta Group March 2016 filing, required under the Foreign Agents Registration Act of 1938, shows that Tony Podesta himself oversees the Saudi account. At the same time, Tony Podesta is also a top campaign contributor and bundler for Hillary Clinton. So while one brother runs the campaign, the other brother funds it with earnings that come, in part, from the Saudis. Those familiar with the Citibank cabal that assigned Obama cabinet prior to his election would also recognize Bin Talal's name, for his in Citibank instrumental role the Obama administration decimation of the middle class. Pam Martins warned us back in 2012, additional emphasis added. Citigroup was showing serious strains in 2007, but the meltdown came the week of November 17, 2008. On Monday, the firm called a town hall meeting with employees and announced the sacking of 52,000 workers. On Tuesday, November 18, Citigroup announced it had lost 53% of an internal hedge fund money in a month's time and that it was bringing $17 billion of off-balance sheet assets back onto its balance sheet. The next day brought the unwelcome tidings that a law firm was alleging that Citigroup peddled the MAT5 fund as safe and secure, then watched it lose 80% of its value. On Thursday, Saudi Prince Walid bin Talal, a major shareholder, stepped forward to reassure the public that Citigroup was undervalued and he was buying more shares. The next day the stock dropped another 20% to close at $3.77. All told, Citigroup lost 60% of its market value that week and 87% for the year to date. Now here is where you need to pay close attention. Just 1 month prior to the stock meltdown, the U.S. government through its Troubled Asset Relief Program TARP had injected $25 billion into Citigroup on October 28, 2008 with a market cap of $20.5 billion on Friday, November 21, 2008. The U.S. taxpayer effectively owned this company lock, stock and barrel. The Treasury and the Fed knew exactly whose interests they were protecting. Just 11 months earlier, Citigroup had publicized a capital raising of $12.5 billion in convertible preferred stock in a private placement, meaning the full details were not released to the public. The press release said investors included Saudi Prince Walid bin Talal and Sandy Weil and the Weil Family Foundation. Bin Talal also owns the Four Seasons, the 4 highest floors of Mandalay Bay Hotel in Las Vegas. He is one of many within the atrociously corrupt elements of the Saudi regime and other Gulf tyrannies that has raised eyebrows with their recent multi-million-dollar donations to the Clinton Foundation. What happening? Given the media moguls arrested in the Saudi sting and the American media allegiance to the Clinton-Obama regime, little is being reported on the implications the arrests have on current events in American politics. Orders for the arrest came from the new anti-corruption committee headed by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Bin Salman, 31, is seen by some as a principled young leader troubled by the convoluted international corruption he inherited within his government. Given his struggle with the corrupt and commingled opposition causing strife in his and our respective countries, Trump may have sought common ground on a recent visit. Bin Salman's rise may allow Saudi to accelerate a recent plan to reduce the kingdom's reliance on oil, which includes the partial privatization of state oil company Aramco. Trump has recently pitched for Aramco to be listed on the New York Stock Exchange, a move that would boost the Saudi Arabian economy. This may also be a sign bin Salman is involved in a coordinated effort to confront the corrupt individuals with the Saudi government who participated in pay-to-play schemes with American foundations tied directly to high-level U.S. politicians, including Obama and Clinton. Given the high-profile nature of the Saudi royalty arrests, pressure increases on American law enforcement and Trump administration to follow through with indictments and arrests of the Obama-Clinton regime officials involved. As speculation bubbles around looming indictments of Tony Podesta, John Podesta, Hillary Clinton, and others, charges against bin Talal and other Saudi royalty may well be related to money laundering and bribery schemes that implicate the Iranian one parties and transactions within the Obama-Clinton regime already being investigated. We have more natural gas in our nation than Saudi Arabia has oil. We could single-handedly be as rich as Saudi Arabia, but the likes of hacks such as Al Gore, who profit out of the ignorance and sheer stupidity of others, have made it so we can even touch our reserves. All because of the myth that is global warming, or as it's called now, climate change. I have always believed that interests from abroad have paid off our politicians so well that they serve as voice pieces for asinine myths in order to keep the United States of America in debt and at the mercy of nations such as China and Saudi Arabia. How they come into a job making $150K a year and come out 20 years later with a net worth of over $100 million. Please share if you think it time the US had a purge of its own.